732. So we'll keep letting people in as they pop on if you want to take it away.
Okie doke. I just wanted to start by thanking everybody for coming out tonight. Tonight would have been our usual stated, but due to COVID, I thought it prudent to cancel it, but I still wanted to do something to keep the nobles and ladies informed of what was going on at Kena. This just seemed like a good way to reach out and touch some folks. So again, thanks for coming out. So kind of my vision for this year, if you've read the emails or read a couple of the Kenograms, you're kind of getting a sense of it, is just to find fun in 21. It's kind of morphed a little bit from what I had started envisioning. But, you know, this pandemic has given us space to reevaluate things that we've always done, try new things, adapt things, you know, things that we always did in Fairfax. Does it still make sense here in Manassas? So that's kind of some of the things that we're thinking through this year. And before we go too far and I forget, I have a noble that I see on camera that I'd like to highlight. We have received a 50-year certificate and pin for one Walter O. Harrison. And I know some of y'all may know him more familiarly as W.O. He's a longtime secretary of Herndon Lodge 264 and longtime member of Kena Shriners. I will say that at this point, he is our most seasoned charter member of Kena Shriners. And in that time, he has done a lot to support the temple and our Shriners Hospital for Children. And he's on camera here with his son, David. So please join me in sending him your well wishes. Thank you for coming, W.O.
He can hear you if you talk. He's not real conversational anymore. Yeah.
Well, it's still good to see you, W.O. And we'll put your pin and certificate in the mail to you after the snow ends.
Thank you very much.
And he was initiated on September the 6th, 1952. And some of y'all are a little faster in math than I am because I'm from Southeast Georgia. You know, it takes a while for me to count on fingers and toes. But yes, that is more than 50 years. We're a little late, but late's better than never. And so thank you all again. And David, thank you for arranging your father to join us tonight.
Certainly. Thank you. Y'all still got the hillbilly truck?
Oh, that's right. You're the mechanic of the hillbilly truck, aren't you? Yeah, we still got that doggone thing.
Didn't know if it made it to Manassas or not. So
it made it. I think there was some baling wire and spit involved.
Yeah. Cool. All righty. Well, we'll let y'all go about your business. And thank you for including Dad in this tonight. I appreciate it. So
thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Who's in?
He's just one of the Shriners.
And Noble Kevin and Noble Scott, if you're ready, I think we'll have a quick membership committee update. And before y'all start, I know some of y'all are going to say, well, why are the ladies involved if we're going to talk membership? It's not secret. And, you know, like every other Masonic organization, we're having struggles now. And I don't want to say all hands on deck or be Chicken Little, but we're going to need all minds thinking on this. And also, the ladies have friends and coworkers who might be interested in masonry or the shrine. And especially when it comes to Blue Lodge, the ladies can do one important thing that Masons can't do, and that is they can tell men in their lives to join the Blue Lodge. We have, us Masons have to wait for a man to ask. And with that, Noble Kevin and Noble Scott R. Johnson, I will let you take it away.
All right, let's flash these slides up on the screen. Yep.
Sorry.
All right, Scott, take it away.
Okay. First, I want to thank Jason for giving me the opportunity to assist with his goal of growing Kina and helping to develop a sustainable membership program. I've been attending some membership seminars online to help prepare for this, and I'm ready for the challenge. The Oriental Guide has been typically been assigned the task of membership and will still be the liaison to the divan. Membership is a big responsibility, too big for someone new to the divan or for any one person, and more on that later. We can't start this presentation without addressing the elephant in the room. Overall, membership at Kina has been down 23.2% in the last 5 years. This isn't to say that we haven't been bringing in new members, because we have, but we have people demitting, suspended members, and we have members becoming black camels at a rate that we can't simply keep up with. One argument is that membership in all Masonic organizations is down, which is true, but if our temple is to survive long-term, we all have work to do. What can we do to switch this trend? First and foremost, we need a plan, and that's what we want to lay out for you this evening. Quite simply, this cannot be a one-person job. We're going to need a group of committed nobles to make this happen. It's also requires energy. As hard as we plan parties and organize social events, we need to work on bringing in new members. So here's our three-pronged plan. We need to be more in touch with our Masonic lodges and work on our image with them. They need to see the fun, fellowship, and philanthropy we do. We need to raise awareness with Masons and the community alike to make people want to be a part of what we have going on. We must focus on asking people to join Kina, invite them to a function, and expose them to who we are. When you bring them to an event, make sure you introduce them to people you think may have like interests. Follow up by thanking them for coming. Make sure you introduce them to the potentate, and we'll make sure he sends a note thanking them for attending. Let's show a spirit of gratitude for people's time. Some of the ideas for improving Masonic relations include strengthening the bond between our temple and the lodges, organize Masonic liaisons for each lodge who communicate regularly the happenings at Kena Shriners, develop and deliver monthly communications from the potentate to local lodges to keep Masons informed of our activities and hopefully get them to come to our events. Work with the potentate to welcome new Master Masons and assign a mentor or big brother who educates them on what it means to be a Shriner, ensures they know about temple events, and makes them feel welcome when they do attend. Develop a standard presentation and respond to requests for speakers in local lodges, and coordinate participation by Kena leaders. And always have pocket petitions at the ready. Right, Tim? Finally, and most importantly, we need to expose new people to Kena, take care of the people we bring in, check in with our members, and reinstate some of the folks who have gone away. We are a new Kena now. The dust is settled. It's time to ask people to try us out again and get some of our members that we haven't seen in a while back to our events and to the temple. We want to review the communication efforts in place that communicate renewing membership.
And so from an awareness standpoint, so over the last year or so, we've been working on enhancing temple communications with the Kenagram and Facebook. And we're on the verge of a website that's going to modernize the look and feel of the Kena online presence. And this is another way that we're going to start working in membership activities, a little more overt and outward facing membership activities. And the communications teams also is willing to assist clubs and units in marketing events for your unit activities. And then we're also going to create a list of Masonic clubs and organizations that we can also make sure we get leveraged in on our communications channels.
And a potential schedule for every year, we're looking at doing in January the winter membership campaign kickoff, and work towards getting in new members, as many as we can. And in May, we'll kick off a summer campaign, and hopefully all of our events will be able to be opened up again, and we'll be able to bring people to those events, and they'll have a good time. This past year, the few events that we were able to do, we were able to pull off, and they went off great. So hopefully this year we can do the same thing now that we know a little bit more about the virus and how to social distance and do these things safely. I think hopefully this year will be better than last year.
Here's the second half of the calendar for the year that we'll obviously adjust and flex as we need to, but really driving these membership activities towards the October open house ceremonial and hot sands is really kind of the annual sort of capstone for these membership activities. So we've got a few milestone check-ins along the way, but really it's all about driving these new members towards engagement and involvement throughout the year, and then really kind of celebrating it on at the ceremonial in the fall, or in the spring and the fall when we get back to 2 times a year. And then the membership committee at the end of the year, in advance of the new potentate's year, we'll sit down with him, go over the activities that we've conducted through the year, figure out what adjustments we need to make for the ensuing year, and start the cycle back all over again.
And we're looking for nobles that are willing to be a part of the solution, who are committed to getting the word out about Kena and able to help us plan for this membership committee, able to give a small portion of their time to help grow, and driven to make Kena grow in 2021 and beyond. And here's my contact information. If you're interested in being a part of the committee or have ideas, you can shoot me an email, give me a call, or see me when you see me at the temple. And hopefully we can get those numbers turned around and get more people out, because this is a great organization. And as Jason said earlier, if it weren't for my lady, I wouldn't be a Shriner right now. So we went to events, she enjoyed it and told me I had to join the Shriners. So the ladies are going to help us drive membership as well as we are. So we need all the help we can get, and we want to show the great work that we do.
Yep. And so just to close out our presentation, I just want to read one quick poem I found on the internet. I modified it a little bit to fit the audience. So here goes. 10 Shriners, happy doing fine. One listened to a rumor, then there were 9. 9 Shriners, faithful, never late. One didn't like the potentate, then there were 8. 8 Shriners on their way to heaven. One joined too many other organizations, then there were 7. 7 Shriners, life dealt some hard licks. One grew discouraged, then there were 6. 6 Shriners, all very much alive. One lost his interest, then there were 5. 5 Shriners wishing there were more, got into a great dispute, then there were 4. 4 Shriners, busy as could be. One didn't like the events, then there were 3. 3 Shriners, was one of them you? One grew tired of all the work, then there were 2. 2 Shriners was so much to be done. One said, what's the use? Then there was 1. 1 Shriner found a brother, true. Brought him to the temple, then there were 2. 2 Shriners didn't find work a bore. Each brought another, then there were 4. 4 Shriners saved their temple's fate by showing others kindness, then there were 8. 8 Shriners loving their temple's bright sheen, talked so much about it, they soon counted 16. 16 Shriners to their obligations true, were pleased when their number went to 32. So we can't put all our troubles at Kina's door. It's our fault for harming the temple we adore. Don't fuss about the events or the politics of the day. Keep your obligation by bringing more Masons our way. And Illustrious, that's it.
Thank you for that great presentation, and especially that concluding poem. I thought that was very meaningful. And I just want to say that that what we're trying to do is revitalize the membership committee after several years. This isn't going to be a one-year thing. It's going to take time to grow and figure out what works, and get the Lodge Ambassador program restarted. And all that's going to take work and people. So if you go to your lodge, volunteer to be the ambassador. Are you retired and tired of your wife putting things on your to-do list? Then, tell her you have to make a couple of phone calls to see how nobles are doing. Can you volunteer to go out 1 or 2 nights a month to various lodges and make a presentation? We'll even give you the presentation. So it's going to take a lot of work, and I don't want you to focus on the first slide with the membership going down. A lot of it is our attitude. So we need to take it as a positive challenge to grow our temple, like the poem that Noble Kevin just read. The other thing that I wanted to highlight, not that there's going to be much highlighting of upcoming ones, but is parades. At least my vision of doing parades now that we're down here in Manassas. A lot of it has been overcome by events because all the parades in the near term are getting canceled. But we currently do around 5 or 7 a year. And I've discussed my thoughts with Colonel Joe of the council units. We normally do 2 in Alexandria, and we do a weekday night one in Vienna. And I'd like to kind of shift that a little bit. Maybe not attend the one in Alexandria, though one of them's in February, one of them's in March. So that option might be taken away from us, and looks like they'll both be canceled. The one in Vienna, I've heard that it's difficult to get to, especially for us working guys, trying to get off work, get home to get changed, and try to beat rush hour to Vienna before they start closing off roads is pretty doggone difficult. And I've had some of the units say that nighttime conditions make it difficult for them to do their to do the things that they do. So I'd like to strategically think about how we look at parades. I've had some nobles say, hey, we're no longer in Fairfax County. Let's say to heck with Fairfax. But, you know, Fairfax City is one of the largest 4th of July parades in the area. So that's probably one we should continue going to. I don't know if Arlington does any parades, because I don't believe we've done too many of those. And also Arlington's a pain in the rear to get to and find parking and all of that. But we need to start looking around. There's a couple of parades in Manassas. There's Haymarket days that we can look into. And there's all sorts of other nearby cities and counties. Maybe if we're feeling really frisky, we can look into Apple Blossom in Winchester that I don't think we've had a presence at in a number of years. And I've heard some invitations in the Mineral area from Patriot Shrine Club that they would like some, that they would like to see some participation from the temple. The other topic that I'd want to bring up is the board of directors has been busy. We've been making improvements to the temple. We over the last several months, we've had the roof replaced. I think that they're finally done. Because the last couple times that I've been to the temple, I've been able to park in my designated parking spot. And really, that's about the only perk of being potentate is you get your own designated parking spot. The other thing that we've just done is we've bought a pavilion for the annex. And during my last email, I attached a artist's rendering of the pavilion. It's a metal pavilion, kind of like a carport, and it's going to go on the back of the annex. And it helps if I follow my script. What I was going to start with before I went over that bullet was what some of y'all may not know is that our fence line in the back behind the annex does not go all the way back to the property line. There's about 50 foot that we could push that fence back and get more space, which again, being South Georgia and math inhibited with fingers and toes and only so many neighbors and friends, I think that's roughly 5,500 square foot of space that we can reclaim just by pushing that fence back. And with the pavilion, we can have outdoor events. We noticed that we had several events last year and outdoor events last year. And we noticed that renting a tent was expensive. We had the picnic outdoors and we had to beg, borrow, steal, scrounge tents for the picnic that we do with the Scottish Rite. And the Legion of Honor had an outdoor event. The Poets Ball was outdoors in a tent. So we just thought that a semi-permanent pavilion outdoors would be better for several reasons. One of them is that we were putting up those tents in the parking lot, which meant that we were eating up those spaces. And we had to have people park closer by the church or on the other side of the building. And some of y'all aren't really spring chickens anymore. So we were making y'all walk all the way from the other side of the parking lot to where we were having the event. So with having the dedicated pavilion, we can free up all those parking spots. And then y'all can go through the bays in the annex. It won't be attached, which is the definition of a permanent structure, which should make it easier to get the permitting done. We're going to make sure that the support structures are going to fall in between the bays so that units and clubs can still drive vehicles through the pavilion and into the bays for maintenance or to go on parade. Some of the other things that I had questions about was bathrooms. Are we going to make people go all the way to the temple for the bathrooms? The bays have bathrooms in the herd bay and in the band bay. There's bathrooms. So for temple events, we can use one as the women's and one as the men's. And if you're having a unit or club event in the pavilion, you can coordinate with the band and the herd for use of their bathrooms. Also, I've heard, what about food? Are you going to drag food from the temple kitchen all the way through the parking lot? Maybe some of it, but a lot of the pavilion use is going to be in the summer with grilling and whatnot. If you coordinate with the yacht club and the camel herd, they may allow you to pre-stage some food in their refrigerators. But that'll be on a case-by-case basis. So that's kind of what we've been doing recently. And we can't wait for warm weather to try out our pavilion And I've already been told that the membership committee is commandeering the pavilion for a membership event as soon as it gets built. Again, the perks of being potentate, you get to set the schedule until other people tell you otherwise. The Noble Kevin partially stole my thunder on the website. Noble William Bomback has been the webmaster for Kina.org since I believe the beginning. I think him and Al Gore invented the internet together. But we want to thank him for all his hard work on the website over all these years. As some of y'all may be aware, he has recently gotten married, and he's got other responsibilities and other things on his plate. And a few nobles were interested in volunteering to help with the website. And it just seemed like a good time to ask him to ask William if we could help take some things off his plate. It's going to be a complete revamp. I showed it to the board of directors at the last meeting, and we started working on it. There's been a minor hitch. I didn't realize before I started working on this that there was going to be a cost associated with it. The last time I tried to build a website was 20 years ago, when all you needed was Dreamweaver and a little space on a server. Apparently, they don't do that anymore. And if you tell somebody Dreamweaver, they look at you funny because I don't think that's even around anymore. So we'll have to re-engage at the next board of directors meeting, but it looks like we may have a new website here shortly, and I'm excited to see that. So I had some questions about my response to COVID-19 and how I was making decisions. So I thought I'd let y'all in on that process. So we're still under restrictions through the Commonwealth, and at least till the end of February. And I've not heard yet what the governor's going to do for March. I've been paying attention to numbers, and they seem to be going down. Vaccines are up. So I'm getting cautiously optimistic that maybe in March, we can start slowly coming out from under restrictions, and possibly into April with even less restrictions. But at Kina, besides the Commonwealth's instructions, we also follow executive orders from Shriners International, and we consider the guidance from the Grand Lodge. And then all that gets mixed up, and I come up with the decision. Now, some of y'all may have cued in when I said consider guidance from the Grand Lodge. Most Worshipful Jones has informed us multiple times that he feels that his authority only extends to the Blue Lodge and not to shrine temples or operations. However, my thought has always been we're Master Masons first, so we want to be mindful of the guidance from Grand Lodge and not get too far ahead of them. But Kina, even though we're still under restrictions, Kina's not sitting still. Units and clubs are meeting in person under the 10 rule. A lot are having Zoom meetings, socials, whatever they want to call them. The over the last summer, I was attending a lot of the clown meetings. I don't know if they're still having Zoom clown meetings. I seem to have fallen off the list. It's really bad when even the clowns don't invite you anymore. And I know the Legion of Honor have Zoom meetings, and they seem to have a lot of success with that. So if you've got a noble that's got a free Zoom account, I'd encourage you to take use of technology, and we're all getting through this together. And I will say that having sat in the last council units meeting and hearing the plans that are coming out of the units and clubs, there's a lot of pent up energy. And as soon as we start coming out from under restrictions this spring, we're going to be busy. And to go into that real quick, I'm going to do some highlights on the calendar. 27 March, we're going to have the Easter extravaganza from 1 to 3. It's going to look a lot like the Santa Safari. And I want to thank Jim Love and Mary Nell for doing a lot of the legwork on that. And I understand that Noble Jim may be turning on the bat signal here in a little bit. I believe part of it is going to consist of us handing out Easter baskets or something of the like to the children who come. And he may need some help stuffing those baskets and getting them ready to go. So just keep that in mind. If you see something from Noble Jim, the universal sign of help, please consider giving a little bit of your time. On 10 April, that was supposed to be the Pote's Ball. The camel herd kicked me in the butt and took my date. They're going to have a pig picking party. I asked last night, is it going to be, how is it going to be? Is it going to be a dine-in or a takeout? And I was told that they were going to have both options. So if you don't feel comfortable dining in, you can always order and then take it back home with you. And the next thing is, I'm sorry, the pig picking is going to be 2 to 5 p.m. 24 April is going to be the Mid-Atlantic Shrine Association spring meeting, virtual. We'll get more information out of that soon. And I'm not sure how they're going to disseminate that, but the voting delegates will definitely get notice. Last year, they had the spring meeting virtually, and I saw a lot of nobles from Kena sticking their heads in. You're more than welcome if you're that bored for something to do on a Saturday to sit in on a Zoom meeting. This will warm the cockles of Noble Fred's heart. 1 May is going to be the Kena Derby. It's not the Kentucky Derby party at Kena. It's the Kena Derby. You're going to get stick horses. You're going to decorate them, and then we're going to have stick horse races. And I believe there will also be a best dressed horse, best decorated horse contest, Dapper Dan, a whole bunch of other contests. There'll be a modified I just lost the term, tailgate party out in the parking lot. Units and clubs can purchase parking spaces. They can set up tents, sell whatever they want, do whatever they want with those spaces. Let's see. One of the other questions I got is what we are doing for fundraising, specifically for the hospitals. Manassas Rainbow Assembly number 13. We've partnered with them. We're the advisor this year, Sister Sammy Dawson. She is the granddaughter of the late illustrious Arnie Brown. So she has chosen Shriners Hospitals to be her term fundraising project. And I may have this date wrong, but Friday, 14 May, I'm getting head nods. 14 May, we're going to have a virtual 5K. This was actually their idea to have a virtual 5K. And I said, well, that's not right. You're gonna come down to Kena and, we'll have one at Kena. So we're gonna walk around the temple. We can see if there's room in the budget and maybe coordinate with some units and clubs. We can get some snacks sponsored. And yes, I know that's a Friday night. Y'all are gonna be tired after work, or illustrious Bill Hendricks is gonna be tired after a rough day of fishing. But come on down on a Friday night. We'll walk around the temple. We'll have some snacks. If I ask him, DJ Nickel Nick and DJ Jazzy Jamie can bring out their music gear like they did for Santa, and we can play music, and we'll have the Rainbow Girls there. And it's not a shrine of event. Get the Jobies there, get the D-Malay there, get your brother Masons there, get your neighbors there, just open that net wide and get anybody. We're still kind of in the planning stages, so I don't know how the money's going to get raised. I don't know if there's going to be a registration fee. I don't know if it's going to be like the walkathons that we had when I was in elementary school, and still gives me PTSD of having to walk door to door and say, oh, well, you give me 5 cents a mile. So I don't know if it's going to be sponsorships or registration, so we're only going to do 1 mile around the temple. That's going to be 8 laps. That's about all I can handle before getting dizzy. And so the other portion of the 5K is going to be on your own at your own time and pace throughout the week. Now the next day on 15 May at noon is going to be the Cornhole Tournament. We had a lot of success and a lot of fun with that last year. So Noble Jim and Lady Mary Nell are going to help us another one the next day. And let me backtrack slightly to the previous night with the virtual 5K. The other thing with it being on a Friday night, depending on what restrictions look like, after you're done walking, you can go home. There's lots of breweries and live music and all kinds of venues in Manassas and nearby in Haymarket. So after you're done walking, get some of your friends together and go to one of those establishments. I have a feeling that Camille and Humphrey might like to see some of y'all in the herd bay afterwards. There's options for a Friday night. 12 June, Poets Ball. I've started putting that together. It's going to be a Hawaiian theme, kind of a luau. What I was kind of my grand vision for the year was, y'all know that I work for one of the government's map making agencies, and I was going to kind of go around the world. I was gonna, we were supposed to have an event this Saturday for Carnival, and then my Poets Ball was supposed to be in April, and that was going to be a European theme. And then we were going to have the 12 June event was supposed to be the membership event, and was going to be kind of the South Pacific. And then we were going to end up in the with the ceremonial in October with kind of a Middle Eastern theme. So we were going to go, Kino was going to go around the world in a year. Well, stupid COVID. So I had to cancel some of those events, and it looks like I can get away with the luau and the Hawaiian theme. But that's not to say it can't be a membership event. Still bring your candidates, but I've commandeered it as the Poets Ball, and that's one of the other things I can do is I can commandeer dates and make them my Poets Ball. So watch out when you units and clubs plan events. And yes, it's going to be Hawaiian formal. Wear your best Hawaiian shirt. I know a lot of you nobles have Hawaiian shirts with fezzes. Break those out of the closet. Khaki pants. I've had some people say, well, it's a Poets Ball. It's supposed to be formal. You're supposed to, get out your tux, and the women are supposed to be in formal dresses. And I don't like to play this card very much because I'm a firm believer that if you have to remind people that you're the king, you're probably not. But I'm the potentate. I want a luau. I want Hawaiian shirts and khaki pants. We're going to have Hawaiian shirts and khaki pants. So that about wraps up what I'm wanted to talk about. I did see some people that I wanted to highlight. Where did they go? I saw them. Oh, there they are. I see Noble Don and Lady Debbie Rittenauer. It's good to see you guys. Noble Don, I understand you were recently under the weather, and I talked to some of your doctors and the nurses, and they said you were so ornery that they kicked you out.
That's true.
It's good to see you. You look real good.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And the other person I wanted to pick on was Warren Byram. I was cleaning out the Pote's office as I was moving in, and I found you and Lady Mary's shirts. So I put them in the Legion room for you. Now the only caveat is because that I did that, you are now obligated to buy this shirt.
I always prefer blue anyway.
That's the delivery charge.
Okay.
Again, I just want to thank all of y'all for coming out. And I've got, before I forget, we had some other questions come in. I got most of them through my little talk. Let's see. So the question that I haven't answered yet is any updates on Imperial session? Right now, the answer is it's a go. They're still making plans. Lady Tracy heard that from Lady Kathy Hartz that there's going to be the go, no go decision is going to be sometime in March. And looks like Noble TJ has a little visitor. He kind of looks like an Ewok there, TJ.
The other one's jealous and is barking at me now, so I got to put him down.
Illustrious.
Yes, sir.
Right now, Houston is 30% out of power. My sister-in-law lives there. So they're going to have a lot of rebuilding to do before Shriners come down there in July.
Thank you for that, Illustrious. And that'll go into, I'm sure that'll go into the decision making. And from Noble Jeff St. Ange, the question is, and he's trying to see how smart I am, is what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Well, is it European or African? And with that, since we have the ability to unmute ourselves, is there anybody else that has any other questions or quick comments?
I forgot during the presentation to thank Kevin and Cheryl for helping put that together because I couldn't have done that. I want to thank them for that.
And I'd also like to thank Lady Cheryl and Noble Kevin for putting this together, and just about any Zoom event we're mooching off of their Zoom account. So we all owe them a debt of gratitude and thanks for allowing us to mooch.
Illustrious, this is Tim Shrum. It's so nice to be here and it's so nice to see everybody. I guess I kind of had one question. I'm excited about all the events and we'll make every effort to make some. The Derby, I can't wait. I got to go talk to Lady Karen about that right now, about us coming. But, you know, and we'll try to promote that at my lodge if I can. I think that's a tremendous event. And I noticed a couple times, I've heard a couple times about outreach to the public. So I'm curious on beyond the webpage, what the advertising strategy is to the public, because that's when we ride in a float in a parade, and I don't have to tell you guys this, but I hear throughout their parade route consistently, there goes the Shriners. They do a lot of good. So if we had an opportunity to talk to folks about the shrine from the local community, I guess I'm kind of curious about that.
That is one thing that we are looking into. I know there's some online newspapers that we can reach out to. And Noble Tim, that is something that we are thinking about and looking into. And if only we knew somebody who was into marketing and may have contacts that could help us out.
Illustrious, we're also considering the Chamber of Commerce, and I know at a couple of council unit meetings, some of the unit club leaders have talked about just putting a booth up at the farmers market at Manassas, because apparently if you're not selling anything, you don't have to pay to do there. You can just sit there with a bunch of hospital literature and wearing fezzes and putting out donation buckets and things like that. So there's definitely, Tim, there's definitely a lot of interest in getting out in the community.
I'll even dress up in my prettiest outfit, come to the farmer's market for you.
Tim, you don't have a pretty outfit.
Just so you know,
You took it.
just so you know, Tim, the herd is silent. That the herd is going to advertise. Will you know where you're? Thank you. The herd is going to advertise all of their stuff at the grocery stores and any bulletin boards and stuff like that we can. I got muted. All right, you can unmute yours now.
And I got a chat in here. Also in the sickness and distress, we have Noble Rick Saunders, our chaplain. He had a short stay in the hospital. I don't believe he's out. I think that decision was going to be made today. But he took a little tumble and rung his bell pretty good. But he should be out shortly, and he's posting quite a bit on Facebook, so he must be feeling better at this point.
Illustrious, is he at Centera?
I would believe so. I don't think I heard which one, but I think where he lives, I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, he's out here by me.
I was told he was up in Nova.
In Nova?
That's why I was understand. I'll have to check.
Well, I know he works for the iNova system, so I had a 50-50 chance. Noble Fred.
Illustrious, if I may, I'd like to add two more to the sick list. Willie Byers, the president of Patriot Shrine Club. His wife, Julie, came down with a severe infection in her foot. She's in the hospital being treated heavily with in Henrico Doctors Hospital, being treated with heavy doses of IV antibiotics. And also a blast from the past, Levi Brown, who is a member of Kena, has been for many years. He's a 60-year Mason in my Masonic Lodge. Levi turned 91 in January, and today I had the pleasure of picking him up and taking him to the eye doctor to get his eye checked. Levi took a big spill and did some bruising of his ribs and blacked an eye. And on the way to the doctor's office today, I told him that he better quit messing with Ethel May, his wife, after seeing his black eye. So keep Levi in your thoughts. He's real unsteady on his feet right now, but Still has a great spirit for someone to be 91 years old.
And we seem to be wrapping up. We've kept it just about where I wanted in the timeline. We've covered a lot of ground, had a lot of good discussion, and I know Zoom meetings aren't quite the same as being in person, having that interaction, but I want to thank you all for joining me on your Noble Mike. You have something?
Yeah, I do. At one time, Keena Temple had started a phone app. Do you know what happened that they didn't continue that? They were going to put where you could buy tickets, the calendar, and everything else on there for events.
Yeah, Mike, that's one of the things we're going to be able to do on the new website is there's going to be a place to buy tickets, register for events, buy shirts and things like that. I don't know what happened to phone app was before my time.
Yeah, there was a phone app. I've got the app on there, but you can't do it. There's no calendar. I mean, it still works for certain things, or it goes there, but it shows nothing on the calendar. That was, I don't know what, that was 3 or 4 years ago, I guess.
That was a project that illustrious Mike Glaze did. And I'm not sure what happened with it. But we can start asking around and seeing what it would take to revitalize it. And thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah, illustrious and Mike, the new website will also be mobile responsive, so it'll scale down to the phone.
Oh, okay.
You'll get menus crashing to hamburger menus and stuff. So that should actually preclude the need for a separate mobile app.
Yeah. Once COVID's over, I was supposed to be coming back and forth from Columbus to Herndon. So I was going to try to schedule coming to Herndon when stuff was going on so I could come out and visit everybody.
Awesome.
But we're not traveling with the company right now. So hopefully when COVID's over, we'll be traveling back to Herndon every once in a while. So hopefully I can schedule the times that meetings and stuff are going on.
Cool.
Michael?
Yes.
Ken Hall, I come into Columbus on a regular basis. Let me know what your address is.
Oh, okay. I live in Groveport, actually.
Groveport?
Yeah.
Okay. I own property up in north of the airport.
Okay. I know. Okay. Yeah, I will.
All right, guys. I think we'll start wrapping it up. Thanks again for joining me at my fireside